This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, June 10th. Looking at an overall picture of things, we expect dry and windy conditions across the eastern areas today. We'll see some diminishing winds over the next couple of days, but continuing seeing steady drying. We do have a concern of some thunderstorms developing over southern Utah this weekend. That's where our fuels are most critical, and overall fire danger has increased significantly with the warming and drying of the past week. Fine fuels and sagebrush have been the primary drivers of fire so far, but the heavy fuels in southern areas and the higher terrain have been steadily drying, and that's going to be a big concern as we go into the weekend with some lightning. So impacts for today, we see some strong gusty winds and low humidity across eastern Utah, especially the higher terrain. Gusts could exceed 45 miles an hour. Now, this strip up here in far northeast Utah, we had a handful of lightning strikes there, also into southern Idaho, but the humidity there is going to be much higher. No significant impacts for tomorrow. We do see some winds increasing along with some lower humidity as we go into Friday. Now, we did have some precipitation over eastern Utah, Wyoming, and far northeast actually eastern Idaho, eastern Wyoming, and far northeast Utah. Some amounts there, though, were quarter inch, maybe some pockets of a half inch. We did have a handful of lightning strikes there, maybe a dozen or two, and also some higher up in the higher elevations of Idaho. Ironically, radar didn't pick up any precipitation here. There was a bit of radar blockage, but we don't have any immediate concerns here. There'll be some wind. We'll have to watch that. But over the course of a couple of days of drying, there could be some holdovers. If we look at the past 7 days, there were some light precipitation amounts up north, but bone dry further south. Fire activity, just a couple of fires have popped up in the red circles through here. Had about 863 acres of growth on a couple of our larger fires. The flash drought index shows the most critical extreme areas here in especially southern Utah, the Arizona Strip, and this is our concern again with the heavier fuels with that possible weekend lightning event. But some of this drought condition has extended further northwards. In terms of the finer fuels, which have been driving our fires, the most critical areas down into the mid to upper single digits on the 10-hour fuels have been suppressed further to the south and east for now. A lot more moist areas further north and west. The ERC point map reflects this. Now, the color scheme here is a little different from last year. We may change this again, but anything you see here in orange is 90th to 97th percentile. So you see those critical areas down south. These areas in the white are 80th to 90th percentile. So by themselves, that's marginally critical, definitely getting a little more benign further north and west. Now, a few PSAs of interest where we had some of that lightning in eastern Idaho. Currently, we have our ERC levels here kind of in that, hard to say, maybe like that 60th percentile, but over the course of the next 7 days, it is projected to get up just under the 80th percentile. But a different story down south in the Dixie National Forest. They're already up towards the 90th percentile or 92nd, and over the course of the next 7 days, expected to get up above the 97th percentile. This darkest red here is the 99th percentile. So this is our concern as we see some lightning potential over the weekend. Now, short-term picture in the larger scale, big high pressure off the Pacific coast, continuing seeing the series of low pressure areas tracking across the northern tier of states from the northern Rockies, and that'll provide the windy impetus for us over the next couple of days, kind of a west-northwest flow. Now, the tightest wind gradient is today. That's why we have the high risk. Otherwise, the wind gradient subsides, but you can see where our warmest, driest conditions are further southwards. Breaking it down, a windy day today in a lot of areas. Some strong winds in eastern Idaho. We'll have to watch some of that lightning. The humidity up there, somewhere between 24 and 29%. So not sure if we'll see any holdovers kicking up. We'll see on that, but maybe in the northern Wasatch where the humidity drops down a little bit. But definitely in central Utah and eastern Utah, humidity down near 10% with those critical winds. Therefore, we have the high risk. Now, diminishing winds on Thursday, Friday, the winds pick up. Again, in eastern Idaho, not as strong as today, but the humidity much drier. Notice instead of seeing humidities around 25%, we're seeing them in the low to mid-teens up in that area. So we'll see if any holdovers from that handful of strikes kick up. Leftover showers or thunderstorms exiting the area today. We stay dry through the next couple of days. Now, things get interesting over the weekend. We have this little low pressure area dropping down, and it's actually a part of a broader trough. It's making the atmosphere more unstable, especially across southern Utah. I see a little green blip here. We have issued high risk for that very dry area down in the Dixie National Forest. This low settles in over the area on Sunday. You see this area in the black with a little bit of green. Could be more widespread lightning initiated by the higher terrain in the Dixie, Fish Lake, and maybe some surrounding areas as well in the Manti. And then this low starts exiting the area on Monday, and we see drier air pushing in afterwards. So getting some lightning followed by drier air, kind of a dangerous recipe. We'll see how that plays out. Humidity, you see how bone dry it is over the weekend. Winds, not a big deal Saturday. Seeing some northerly winds. We don't normally see large-scale northerly winds this time of year, but those northerly winds increase on Monday. And that's a concern. If we see lightning down in some of the central and southern mountains of Utah, and then start seeing winds of 25, 35, even 40 miles an hour here, with humidity down near 10%, that could be significant. So we see the precipitation show some of that lightning area, some light precipitation, nothing heavy. Could be some residual stuff on Monday not shown by this model. Then we start drying things out. So we sum things up on our 7-day outlook. Critical areas here in the east and south today. No significant issues until we get to the weekend, where we see some lightning threats popping up Saturday and especially Sunday. Then we'll see how those winds play out Monday and Tuesday. We may need some wind high risk here if we do get that lightning. And the 6 to 10 day outlook shows near normal temperatures, may be warmer than normal across the western Great Basin, near normal precipitation for the western Great Basin, a slight wet signal over the east. We'll see how that plays out. But again, normal precipitation this time of year is not really that much. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.